Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Refresh with ABHA. And today I'm having my topic conversation with Olayinka with a very special guest. And this guest is very interesting, loaded. And I want you to, I request you and I ask that you watch this to the very end. Once again, welcome to my channel, Refresh with ABHA. I'm having conversation with Olayinka, and my guest today is none other than uh, Lady ABHA. And I'm just going to, before I bring her up, I just want to ask that please subscribe to this channel if you have not, because we're bringing interesting conversations here. Or share, like our videos, and comment. We will appreciate that. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest today. Ta-da! Lady Adejisola Atiba. Lady Adejisola Atiba, also known as Lady ABHA. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so
Welcome to my channel. I'm very excited today. I'm excited because it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
much. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Lady ABHA. Many happy returns of the day. Long life, prosperity, good health, and progress. All wrapped, many things wrapped in one wish for you today. How do you feel? How's your day been?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm excited and I look forward to it. How has my day been? I will say that I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for the mercy of God because there's been a lot happening. But I thank God for today. It is, you know, every day is a gift. And so
Absolutely.
I'm so very grateful. Again, thank you for having me. When we get into the conversation, I'll share some things, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really grateful.
I want to say thank you too for honoring this invitation. And I've been looking forward to it since for the past 3 months, and I'm so happy the day is here right now. I'm so glad. And thank you for showing up today. I know that it's not easy, but we're gonna not waste too much of your time. So Adejisola Atiba. So when I see that name Adejisola, I know, because for those of us who are not from Nigeria, when you see the name, the Ade before any name, just know that that person is from a royal family. So tell us about Adejisola, this royal name that you have. Tell us where that comes from.
So Adejisola is, to your point, the first three letters references royalty, and Atiba for people of Yoruba land that knows history would know that Atiba was the very first king of the present Oyo. Right now, where Oyo was not at this location, so Atiba was the very first king. And I'm gonna go home a little and just sing my own praise. So, uh, Emini Ojo Pashekere, Omo Atiba, Omo Iku, Ti Iku ò gbọdọ̀ pa, Ọmọ àrùn, tárùn ò gbọdọ̀ ṣe, Ọmọ òfò, tófò ò gbọdọ̀ ṣe. So that is just to tell you a little bit about what we call Oriki in Yoruba land. Oriki is when you praise sing someone. And
Mm.
so I am from a royal family in Oyo Alafi. So I was born a princess. My father is a prince. And so, yeah, that's where the name came from. Oyo is in the western part of Nigeria. and the language that we speak is none other but Yoruba.
Wow, 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 awesome. Just so you know, I've been to Oyo a couple of times. You know, there's a federal government college in Oyo, and some of my little cousins were there, and I had to visit. Very beautiful place. Lady Atiba, no, it's called Lady ABHA, right? Lady ABHA. How did you come about that name, Lady ABHA?
A lot of people ask me, but it's actually my acronym. You know,
Oh,
yes, it is my acronym. So I just put it together because, you know, is it that you live on your own terms, you brand yourself, or people tell you who you should be? So Adejisola Atiba, Lady Abba is living on our own terms and branding herself. And so Abba is the first letter of my name, Adejisola, and the last A is my last name. Just so you know, yes, I am married, but I did not change my name from my maiden name. So Atiba is my maiden name. And
wow,
B is Boluwadu. I was actually born into a Muslim family, and my Muslim name was Tawakalitu. And the meaning of Tawakalitu is Boluwadu. So when
wow,
I moved from, you know, Islam to Christianity, I embraced the Boluwaduro part. And H is my Christian name that I was given at baptism. Anna. Hanna. So it is Adejisola Boluwaduro Anna Atiba.
wow. Thank you for telling us the mystery. I'm like, I must ask that question, Lady. But you know, I've always heard that name Tawa Kalitu. I didn't know the meaning. Thank you. I've been educated today. Wow, 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 wow. Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit about your background because I found some interesting things in your book. For instance, where you were born. And I found that it's a common denominator between you and I. So I just want to know, yeah. So tell us a little bit about your place of birth. I know, okay, you're a princess from Oyo Kingdom, but so you were born in where were you born?
I was born in Ibadan. Ibadan is the capital of Oyo.
Mhm.
Most people, you know, in Nigeria, we tend to move around, and Ibadan, again, like I said, is the capital of Oyo. So people move, you know, from place to place. So my father actually settled in Ibadan. And I was born at the University College Hospital, uh, which is under uh, University of Ibadan.
Yeah.
Mm, beautiful hospital, but it is what it is. Nigeria being what it is. But I was born in Ibadan. I schooled. I had my primary education at Alafia Nursery and Primary School. I was actually there in February when I went home briefly. And it broke my heart to see that the school is no longer in existence. It was a
Wow.
private school, yes.
Mm.
And I went on to go to high school, St. Louis Girls Secondary School. They call us Lue, Lue Girls. And I was actually there in February. I haven't been there since I passed out in.
That's Molete, right?
No, it is Oketunu, very close to Mokala.
Mokola. Mokola. Okay.
Yes. Um, I'm from a polygamous home. My father had many wives because he's a king. He's a king's son, and he was the only son. He was the only son, and you know the way it is when you are the only son. They want many children. My grandmother on my father's side, I never met her, but my father told me that when he was old enough to have a wife, his mom actually married six wives for him at the same time. All he
Wow.
needed to do was just to be their husband, and the mom was taking care of them all because she wanted him to at least have children.
Mm.
Unfortunately, according to him, he did not have any until she died.
Oh,
And
wow.
by the time, yes, and by the time he started having children, most of them died for one reason or the other.
Mm.
Uh, you know, I do recall that even the first child of my mom died. So
Mm.
it's like there's no woman that, except the last two, that their first child did not die. And it could be due to tradition, it could be due to anything. We don't know because they never
Yeah.
really looked at. But point is, my father shouldn't have been my father. He should have been more like a great grandfather to me because I
Because
was
of age.
because of the age. And I guess that's why he really loved me so much. My father would always encourage me, would always, talk to me. Adesola, you're born with a golden spoon in your mouth. You can do anything you want. He's always, he was my cheerleader. My father died about 31 years ago. I was 23. At 23, if you're a sport, you're a sport. If you don't know where you want to go, you don't know where you want to go. If kids, today kids think that they're the only ones that want to direct their lives. They don't know that their parents have been there. And because of what we've seen, is why we're guiding them the way we're guiding them so that they don't make the same mistakes like we did. I was 23 when my father died, and my father was 85 years old. So you can imagine. So it dawned on me after he left why he was dotting on me, because I was more like his child, old age child. All the other ones behind me were too small for him to relate with.
Yeah.
So, and my mother had 6 children. We lost one of them about 11 years ago, my immediate younger sister. But she left children, and we're happy that we have those ones. And so, yeah, married. I would say that I'm mother of two. I have two young men, Oluwatofumi and Oriofeoluwa. But
Wow.
I would say that even though I'm mother of two, I'm actually mother of many because um, I became the first child by virtue of the fact that the first one passed. And so I have my siblings who I love very much, and they always make my day. Today being my birthday, I've received so many calls, so many well wishes from my brothers and sisters. I always say that you cannot be good outside if you're not good at home. I am
Mm.
happy that my siblings, my brothers and sisters, they see me as somebody they want to know, even if they have a choice. My father always say that you can't choose your mother, you can't choose your father, you can't choose your brothers and sisters, you can't choose them. You just find yourself in the midst of them. And
Right.
one of my nephews actually wrote a message to me and said, if I could choose my family, I would still choose you as my auntie. And that just goes
Wow.
a
That's
long way.
amazing.
Just goes a long way. So yeah, and it's not as if we see eye to eye all the time, but the point is we love each other, and we try to support each other as much as possible.
That's amazing.
The background.
Yeah, I could even I could, from reading your book, I could tell how dearly you hold your family, because you talked a bit about, you having to work extra and doing even night job just so that you could provide, like, help, assist your loved ones. That's amazing, amazing story. Yeah, I told you, I've kind of dissected your book. I know, I underlined where you wrote about your father. You said, my late father, Prince Ade Atiba. My father made me believe that I could be whatever I wanted to be, making me morally and spiritually strong from a very young age. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm just reading that. I know that that's loaded. So, but thank you for sharing with us exactly and giving us more background about your upbringing. The interesting thing is that I relate with you regarding Ibadan. I was born in Ibadan, but I was not raised in Ibadan. I was raised outside Ibadan, but I eventually came back to Ibadan, went to upper school, Queen School, and then went to UI. I did my youth service in Ibadan, lived in, I'm just Ibadan, kind of. And that was not very palatable for a long time for me. And that's another story for another day. I read in your book, you said banking is my profession, community is my passion. I'm like, I had to take a stop and I had to think about it. Wow. Banking is like, so I want to talk about the banking journey, your journey as a banker. You seem to have had a long journey in banking, and then you moved to Canada. So I want to talk about that, and I also want to talk about your experience with, is it Hudson in RBC?
Oh, I did put the name there, right? Wow.
Yes, yes,
Okay. So I finished high school at the age of 16.
yeah,
And we always do jam in Nigeria, she.
yes,
I did
yes.
jam and I actually got 241, which was very high at that time. And for some reason, if Nigeria, it's who you know and things like that. I did not get to my first choice. And my second choice, because I was young, I was stupid, I would tell my daddy that I'm going to work on my admission, but I wasn't doing anything. I was just playing around. I wish I had told him. I know he would have helped me. By the time I told him, it was kind of late. And they said, if you can score 241, you can score it again. Do it next year. And being a young child, stupidity, right? The Bible says stupidity is in the heart of a child. I'm like, I'm not doing it again. My father begged me. I said, no, I'm not going to do it again. And that was when I went to my stepsister and I started working. My first work job was in a ministry. And shortly after that, we moved to Lagos. And through my sister, I got a job in the bank. And that was 1989. And way back then, when you're a banker, you know everything. You're the jack of all trades, master of everything, literally master of everything. So I worked in different departments in the bank. I was young. I was very young. I mean, 19 years working in the bank, and that was with Society Generale, and they paid a boatload of money way back then. Even it was the pay when I started was much more better than all those petroleum companies. Much better. Um, Something happened. I'm gonna leave that on the side. I will put it in my book. Something happened. I lost my job, and by the time I lost my job, my father was already dead. And I I tried to. I think that was 1997, if I'm not mistaken. So 89 to 97, I was working in the bank. I did different types of work. So I can't even begin to say, but I knew a lot about banking through Society Generale. And so when I lost a job, I'm like, big deal. I have experience because, I mean, there's so many reasons why you lost the job. So for that period, it was because they were downsizing some people. And I happened to be one of them. But I may not have been one of them if certain instance did not happen. But I was one of them. So, and it didn't stop me from looking for another job. So I was trying to look for another job, but everywhere I go, they'll say, "Wow, you have a lot of experience, but you don't have any certificate to back it up."
Mm,
And that was when it dawned on me what my father was telling me because he said, "Do jam, go to school." And I asked him, I said, "If I do jam and I go to school, what will I do after school?" Because I've always been, I'm that curious kind of child. I will ask questions. I'm not the type of child that you say jump and I'll say how high. No, I will ask you why am I jumping, and that was why I said my father actually came before his time.
mm,
He would listen to me again. Maybe it was because I was a child of his old age. I don't know, but he listens to me. So I said, if I go to school, what will I do? He said, you will look for a job. I said, well, I'm working now, right? In my
mm,
stupidity, I thought it was the same. Anyway, by the time he died and I was looking for a job, and people were saying, yeah, we want people that it's not just about learning, it's about people that can think on their toes, people that can make recommendations, people that can add value. And it was really bad. It was a really difficult time for me. And there are a lot of other things that played their part in that situation. But I made up my mind that nobody will ever ask me again that what do you have.
It's interesting if I may come in there because in Nigeria, everything is certificate based, right? Or abroad, we see people who leave high school and they're in a job and they rise and they stay there for years. So I just wanted to chip in that.
and
Continue.
and that is so true, right? That is so true. But then again, they rise, and there's actually a level they can go, because
That's
you will get to a certain level. There's some things that will be required of you.
right.
But anyway, so that was when I realized my folly, and I made up my mind never again.
Mm,
Uh, but eventually, I was able to get back into banking. I was with Union Bank, and then with Citibank, NIB, Nigeria International Bank.
right,
I was with them before I came to Canada. And by the time I was with Citibank, um, because I now have enough money to send myself back to school,
right.
I enrolled back in school. Um, Actually, not before. Before then, while I was still struggling around, I actually went to Yaba Tech.
Mm-hmm.
This is me that said, why am I going to school, right? Would have done jam and go to school for 4 years and come out. I got admission to Yaba Tech part time, and part time is 3 years. And the first year, I was about doing exam when they couldn't find my name as a student in the school. Apparently, it was a fake admission that I got, and I paid school fees. And so I tried again, and I got admission this time. And so a journey of 3 years, I used 4 years. So this is me that they said do, and you say no, I'm not going to do. You know that adage, right? And so
Yeah.
Tony, so this is me that could have spent 4 years to do degree. I spent 4 years doing an OND. And
Mm,
when I got to Citibank, because I now have enough salary, I enrolled in school part time again uh,
right.
in Ogun State University. Olabisi Onabanjo University, they changed the name.
Yeah.
So that was where I did my bachelor's in banking and finance. Again, I did it part time. This was another 4 years. Just imagine the 4 years I could have done when I was young, but because of
Time.
stupidity, now I spent 8 years before I could get degree.
And that's a lesson, right? That to do the right thing at the right time.
The Bible says there's a time for everything under the sun.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's why, you know, I was still, when I came home today, my son hugged me and said, "How was your, my little guy, my 16-year-old, how was your day?" I said, "It was great." And he hugged me and he said, "Did you bring a lot of gifts?" I said, "Why would I bring a lot of gifts?" He said, "Because it's your birthday and you work with a lot of people." I said, "So you think they're going to give me gifts?" I said, "Yeah, I think they will like you." I said, "What makes you think they'll like me?" I said, "No, there's nobody that would not like you." I said, "Do you like me?" And he said, "Yes, mommy, I like you." I said, "Really? You're not worried that you say you must do this, you must do that, you must study, you must do this?" He said, "No, I know you're doing it because you want
Wow.
me to be better."
That's
So,
amazing. A
yeah.
lot of young people his age, they don't think that what we're saying is, you know,
So for me, I actually am not giving them a choice. My father gave me a choice, and I suffered, and I know what I suffered. There were times that I didn't have enough to eat. There were times that I didn't have a place to sleep. I didn't have a place to call my own. I know what it means. And in my house, you can't waste food because I know what it means not to have. And so I'm not really giving my children choice. To be candid with you, I told them once you're done your degree, you can do whatever you want. But I'm not. The chance that my father, he kept quiet. I know why I need them to at least be self-dependent.
yeah.
I know why, because I'm not going to be here forever. Nobody's going to be here forever. I want them to be able to take care of themselves.
True.
Ex-
And it's interesting because as parents, when you've gone through a certain experience, you don't want your children to go through same experience. So you want to make sure as much as possible that they don't go, they don't have to. And that's the lesson for life. We don't have to go through the same mistakes when we can learn from other people's mistakes. That's very
Absolutely. Absolutely, you're very correct. When that book was published, Authenticity, How My Women Moment Shaped My Life, we read it together as a family.
wow.
Uh, yeah, because I need them to know that they are blessed. And that is why my children, they volunteer with me everywhere. Everywhere I go, we go together. We go to shelter, we go to anywhere, we go there together so that they know they're blessed. You know,
Mhm.
and that's because I'm working very hard to make sure I can provide for them. I can support my younger brothers and sisters. And my hope is that eventually, through the support, everybody will be able to stand on their own. I don't want to be the only one being able to do so many things. I want them to be able to do things on their own.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, um, that was that was my journey to banking in Nigeria. And then, of course, coming to Canada, I finished my degree 2005, my banking and finance degree. I finished it in 2005 and I came to Canada in 2005. And by the time I was leaving Citibank, I was already supporting different branches, leading, because
And
Citibank,
I want to assume that you were married and had your children by then too.
no, I
When
had my first child. I just left that out because that's a story on its own. I had my first child in 2000. When was it now? 1998.
so that's what I
1998.
want to say, that you now you are married, you have children, and then you're having to go to school.
I wasn't
Don't
married.
think
I wasn't married.
okay.
I had my child in 1998.
Right.
I was taking care of my child alone, and I was still going through all that. I actually
Wow.
finished my accounting in 1998, and then it was
Mm.
after I enrolled in Olavisi Onabanjo University, where I got my bachelor's. Anyway, I came to Canada 2005, and I felt okay. Now I have my bachelor's. You feel proud. I've been
Yeah.
able to achieve something. So I got my bachelor's 2005. I left university 1986. I mean, I left high school 1986. Can you imagine how long it took me just
Mm.
because I refused to listen? And I say it because, not because I like to say it, I say it because I want anybody listening to learn from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I want anybody listening to learn from me. And so I came to Canada and I felt, oh, with my certificate and my experience, it's a no brainer. I'll get a job in the bank. The point is, my community were the ones telling me you can't get a job in the bank. My community. And that's the thing. I always say that it is the value that you have in you that you can give to somebody. If you've never experienced it before, if you've never seen anybody that looks like you in the bank before, you will say it's not possible,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
And I actually thought it was not possible, but I started volunteering and I was teaching English as a second language. And I went to the bank to open an account, and that was when I met the account manager, uh, Ronald, right?
You said Hudson.
Oh, Hudson, yeah, Hudson. I don't know why I forgot his name. He's actually from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put that in the book.
Yes. So when I met him, we talked. He talked about himself. He loves music. He said he hopes to go back home and do that. We lost touch maybe a few years after because I was struggling. Right, struggle never stops. Right. Um, but I did experience certain things back home that kind of prepared me for the struggle in Canada. So it was a no brainer. At times when we're going through things, we wonder why, right? But
Yeah.
it's for the journey ahead. And so, he talked about himself, and it was asking me, "You worked in the bank. Why you not working here?" I didn't really want to answer him, to be candid, because I'm like, where do I begin to tell the story of how great, of how disappointed I've been, greatly disappointed, right? But that spirit just said, "What's the point? Why not tell him what's the worst that can happen?" And I told him, and he said, "Did you know I could introduce you to someone that just got hired. And I'm like, absolutely, I would love to be introduced. And lo and behold, this person is a Yoruba lady.
Wow.
Her name is Modupe. In actual
Wow.
fact, to be very,
You
very
mentioned it in the book, the
I,
Modupe.
I didn't even know I did. Her name is Modupe. In actual fact, they always say that the thunder doesn't strike twice in the same place. Thunder actually struck twice in the same place because exactly what she did is what I did. And I was able to get a co-op placement in RBC. That was the
Wow.
beginning of my journey in RBC because I chose to answer somebody that is curious and I got the introduction. And Mudupe and myself were friends for life.
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
We're friends for
Serendip- when I read the book, I thought that was a serendipity moment because, and I could identify with because as immigrants, there's that one person that slightly opens the door for you, right? And you step in, and God takes control of the rest. I wanted to talk to you because in your book I found it very interesting, and I actually giggled about God's own country when you were talking about God's own
yeah, right?
country. So, and I said, well, I want you to talk a little bit about, this God's own country that we're in. What have you got to say about that?
Oh my goodness. You know the way it is. Back home we
Yeah,
always say our brothers, oh, God's own country. There's no nothing can go wrong, right? Everything is perfect.
yeah,
You can be whatever you want to be. And so when I came in and I'm like, okay, this is way different from what I was expecting. And then the other thing that was really a root shock, because there's a lot of culture shock, coming at you, a lot
yeah.
of things that you're like, okay, this is super different. But one of the things that really, really shocked me was when people made you feel like you're less than them.
Mm,
That
mm.
I did not experience before. I mean, I'm actually when I was young, I was a prideful person.
Yeah.
I will put my nose up in the hair. Even when life was really bad, I knew that is not where I'm supposed to be just because I have my God and I have my Father telling me, you are the best. So I always have this, when even now, when I walk in the room, I raise my head higher because that's just who I am. And so coming here, that was really one thing that really bugged me until it didn't.
Mm,
And
mm.
yes, and that's why community became a passion for me
Yeah.
because I know that if I went through that, a lot more has gone through it. And I began to hear stories from a lot of other people about the experience. You know,
Mm,
that was really the thing. But we always say everything is perfect in God's own country, and we get to God's own country and we realize that it's human beings that live there. The gods are
mm.
yeah.
Yes, I believe every single immigrant will have their own story. I have my own story too. But just because I'm mindful of time, I want us to move ahead. There was something that struck me in your book, and we're still going to talk about your book next. But you talked about dreams versus goals.
Mm,
The difference.
absolutely. Um, when we dream, I want to be this, I want to be that. But for it to actually materialize, you need to be intentional about it. And then it
Hmm.
becomes goals. I could dream that I want to go to university, but not apply to university,
Hmm.
right? I could be in university and not study, of course. I'm not going to achieve my goal of having that certificate in my hand. And so it's important to know, to be able to differentiate when you're dreaming, I want to be a millionaire. And that's why I'm putting all the work into it, right? You got to put the work into it. We got to do our best. Because even the Bible says that he who does not work does not deserve to eat. It
Right.
is we can walk, but it is God that will give increase to us.
True.
We don't walk. God says we do not deserve to eat. And so I want to be the CEO of a bank. I want to be CEO of a company. I got to put my best foot forward, do everything that's in my power to do, and not just slack off. Because
Mm.
it's good to dream, but then dreams only become goals when you put action to it.
Right. No wonder they say if wishes were horses, then
That's
beggars.
right. Absolutely.
Right.
Beggars are right.
Yes.
And that
I
is
just wanted you to expatiate on that because a lot of people, they have all these dreams and they're dreaming and dreaming and dreaming, but no action. And then at a point in time, they get frustrated. And then when they see others who are actually putting actions into their dreams and going and achieving, they get resentful, right?
so.
So,
So remember, I said, never again will anybody ask me, "What do you have?"
mhm,
Never again will anybody ask me, "What do you have?" When I realized that, and this is something that a lot of people say in Canada, what can you control, right?
mm,
It's not about blaming the entire universe. No, what can you control?
mm,
And so when I came to Canada and I did all the certification to make me become a personal financial planner, PFP, I realized that that's not where I want to stop.
mhm.
I need to do my master's. But you know the way it is in Nigeria, if you don't bring your transcript with you, forget it. You'll never
Yeah,
get it. So when you say that in Canada, they look at you and say, really? You can't get your transcript? But anyway,
no,
so instead of me wasting my time, I'm blaming Nigerian government, I'm blaming the school, I'm blaming everybody around me. I took ownership of it. I went back to school. I did another 4 years here. That
wow,
is, it's not about saying, I want to be something. What are you doing? And I believe in education. I believe in education. A lot of people will tell you they believe in trades. Absolutely. Provided you do something to add value to yourself that will make you independent.
that's true.
Shikena.
Yeah.
So I did my bachelor's, and there were nights that I would be holding my two boys on the hand like this and going in the midnight, going home because I'll take them from school. They'll stay in the computer room, and I'm having lectures upstairs because it was evening school. Because I gotta go to work. Without work, I don't have the money to take care of myself. And I
Right.
didn't even know there was OSAP then. Can you imagine? I did not know there was OSAP. And I thank God I did not know there was OSAP. Because if I took OSAP, it is basically on my neck now. So
That's
so I was
wow.
working, I was going to school. I did another 4 years. And then I did my master's, and I finished my master's in 2019. I was 49 years old.
Wow. Wow.
So when people tell me all the stories in this world that is not making them do something,
Hmm.
I have a different way of looking at things. I have a different way of looking at life.
Yeah. I also believe that education, like constantly developing yourself, improving yourself,
Yes.
it's what everyone should be going after, not stopping on the way. Now I am thank you so it's really interesting, but now I want to talk about this book.
Okay.
Your book, it's I don't know how to put it. Yeah. Auth- Authenticity.
Authenticity.
How why
Authenticity.
how my why me moments
Moments shape my life.
shaped my life. Yeah. So I want to talk about this why me, yeah, that you talked about in this book. Sorry, I'm trying to put the book up so that yeah, so that our readers can what those watching can get the title. So why me? Why me? Why me moments? So what are those why me moments? You I know there will be many, but you've talked about some a little bit. So why me?
Everybody always, yeah, sorry. Everybody always have whammy moments. And we always think that we always get the bad end of the stick, right? Everybody. Recently, Algoma University featured me in the alumni magazine, and on the page they said Adejisola is living on her own terms. Yes, I can live on my own terms now because
Absolutely.
have paid my dues, right? So why me? When I was in Nigeria and I lost my job, I could stay in the why me space forever and not do anything about it, and not go back to school, and not try to change the narrative about my life. I could decide, oh, now I've done OND, I don't need to do more. But because I know who I am and I know what I want to be, and I know that I don't just want to make ends meet, I went to university even when it was not convenient, you know. I mean, imagine when I told you that even when I was doing the, diploma in the college and I got fake admission, I could say, why me? And say, I'm not doing it again. What's the point? Spending 4 years that I could have used to finish a university degree only to use it for diploma. I could say, why me? When I had my baby and things didn't work out with the dad, I could say, why me? When I was sleeping, all over the place with friends and I didn't have a place to really call my own, I could say, why me? Um, when I finished, when I came to Canada, thinking that life is going to be different, even with my degree, only to realize that now I'm black,
Mm.
right? I could say, why me? When things don't work out the way I want it to work out. And that's the thing. You see, we're talking about storytelling. Everybody has a story.
Right.
And even though, there's a lot to my story, I tell people that I'm still writing my story.
Mm.
You only stop writing your story when we're 6 feet down.
Mm.
And today is my birthday. Anybody that knows me really well knows that this is not the way I would normally talk on a birthday. I'm always excited and things like that. But an haha moment happened to me 2 days ago. On Wednesday, I was going to work and I lost control of my car. And it was only by the grace of God that sitting in front of you today. I could say, why me? Right? But the why me is a question. And if you look at that book, it's filled with a lot of why me's. I interviewed a lot of people, and some people said, why not me?
Mm. Mm.
Remember, the Bible says that it will not give us problems that we cannot handle. It is not about not being able to handle the problem, it's about God working with us through that problem. We were never promised that it's going to be all rosy in this world, right?
Mm.
We always say that fingers are not equal. Different people will see different things in life, but
Mm.
you can't sit in the why me, because some of the people I interviewed said, if it was, if God did not know I could handle this, if God did not know I could have the resources to take care of this situation, He would not give it to me. There's so many people that may be in this situation but don't have the resources that I have. So that why me was about telling everybody's story. You read my story, but you also read stories of a lot of other people in that book. And I'm
Sure.
sure you took a lot from it.
Yeah.
There's one that resonates with me a lot, and I want to quickly touch on it. It's about that Sudanese young man that stayed in a refugee camp for decades. And the only way out of that refugee camp is to actually focus on his education. Or he could stay there and say, why me? And not do anything about it. And really, it takes us back to dreams and goals. Oh,
Mm.
I don't want to be in a refugee camp. But what are you doing to get out of there?
Yeah.
I don't want to be told, what do you have to offer? All you have is experience. You don't have any certificate. You can't think on your toes. You can't add value to us. I don't want to be told, but I can't stay there. I got to put an action to back it up. When one way, as much as I love, I seriously, I still love Blackberry. I
Mm.
still love Blackberry. And because they were not agile enough,
Mm.
They lost what they started.
Mm.
I'm saying that to say that there may be situations in our life that maybe everything is even going great, but
Mm.
the minute we know that things are too too easy, you know, some people will tell you when it's not broken, don't break it, don't fix it. I say when it's not broken, break it, re-engineer it, start
Wow.
over again.
Wow.
We had an event with Council of Nigerian Professionals, and we invited a young lady, Ovie. She's doing amazing things in the healthcare nursing um, environment. You know, a lot of people will tell you when they give me lime, I make lemon. You know what Ovie said? Ovie said, "You were there when they
Yes.
gave me lime.
Yes.
I made
Yes.
champagne."
Champagne. I like that. That jolted me. Like, what?
There was one
Yes.
of my colleagues that was there. She said, "I will try as much as possible to make sure I join some of your events. This is simply amazing." And that's the
Yeah.
thing, perspective
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
So when you're going through a whammy moment, which everybody will go through, doesn't matter. As much as I'm trying to pave the way for my children, they will have their own whammy moment. But when they
Yes.
have their whammy moment, will they reach out to their mom and say, "Mom, can I borrow from your wealth of knowledge so that I can make the right decisions?" Would they reach out to people around them that can add value to them?
Right.
They reach out to God, right?
Yes.
It's not about staying in the why me, it's about reviewing the why me and looking for the way forward. Not being not being not I don't want I want to use I don't I'm looking for another word. I don't want to use pity. Not pity yourself. Don't stay in the pity party. Move on.
Do something. Get
Do
up.
some- Get up and go
It's
because
not over.
it's not over until it's over.
Yes, I would say that. So, because of time, I like us to talk about, because you just mentioned Council of Nigerian Professionals, CNP, and also African Caribbean Council of Alton. You are the founder of these organizations. And you said your passion is community. You said banking is your profession, community is your passion, and I think that is so powerful. And that, of course, that I'm sure must have made you to be the founder of this organization. Tell us more, so those who are listening, maybe those, especially those in Canada, can benefit from this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, like I said, when I came to Canada, I didn't know where to go. I was lost until I spoke with Odson.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, whoever is talking to you is only what they know that they will tell you.
Yeah.
Yes, I going to join RBC, but I didn't know what next, right? I was walking and I saw, one of those branches, and I saw this young man who, became my second mentor in Canada. Mudukwe definitely is my first mentor because she was the one that paved the way for me to even get a job. And this young man, I just saw that he doesn't seem to be busy to me, but he has, his office. He has the only colored printer in the branch then. And I walked up to him and I said, "What do you do?" And he told me he's a financial planner. Seriously, everything he told me I did not understand, but I listened and I started doing the exam. And even though I started as a teller, I know that tellering is, well, it's a foot in the door, but I need to decide where I want to go from there. And I did
Absolutely.
all the exams and I passed the qualifying exam as a teller because I have the background, right? I have the experience, I have the bachelor's degree. And so it was easy to just do all those things. And eventually I started moving up, eventually. But why am I saying this? I'm saying it because of lack of mentorship. I maybe things that I could have done, I would have done them differently. And I felt, do I want everybody else that comes into the country to feel this way? That was and that's the thing. Do I want to stay in the whining moment, or do I want to do something about it? There's a need, do something about it. I'm a woman of action. I am not somebody, like I told you, I don't do pity party. And that was when I called, people in this living room and I said, "This is what I'm thinking." And they said there's room for it. And so that was how Council of Nigerian Professionals started, so that we can support professionals. We can support our children. They can see role models. We can support our businesses. We can hold each other. We can lead each other. We can refer each other to work, jobs. And I moved from Mississauga to Brampton short, briefly, and then moved to Milton. Milton is in the Halton region. Now I understand more about the community. I understand more about the inequities in the system. And I noticed that they don't do Black History proclamation in the town of Milton. And I spoke to some of the um, politicians there, and they said, "Oh, now that you're talking about it, we got to do it." And you know, we did the very first Black History Proclamation in the town of Milton. And the mayor was saying that we should have done this yesterday, but the next best time to do something is today.
It's
And that's
now.
really, exactly, and that's really an advice for anybody out there.
Yeah.
Yes, you may feel, oh, it's too late. It's never late. Nothing is ever late
Yeah.
unless you make it late. Nothing is difficult unless you make it difficult.
Wow. Wow. I know you are absolutely loaded. I could have a conversation with you for hours and I would not be bored. And you're so very knowledgeable and I just love who you are and the way you think and all of that. I connect with you. There's some people you connect with intellectually, and that's what stimulates me. I connect with you intellectually. I don't like surface relationships. I like intellectual. So, and you are that for me. So, and I'm going to, because I'm mindful of time, I want to ask you a question. How do you want to be remembered?
And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. You know, what happened to me 2 days ago was an aha moment for me.
Hmm.
And so today I'm like, wow, it could have been different, right?
You
Instead of
know, when I was writing down this question, I was like, why am I writing down this question? I didn't even know that you had this incident.
it could have been different, but I thank God that
Yeah.
I'm still here and standing. And you
Thank
know,
God.
I'll say a few things. I always tell people that, well, for me, there are three things that are most important to me. One is my priorities, two is my purpose, and three, who I am. I'll start with the third one. I always tell people that I, Adejisola Atiba, I'm a product of an outstanding father and hardworking mother. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what my father and my mother have instilled in me. I believe in hard work. And I would recommend everybody to listen to my TEDx, The Powerful Voice of the Parent.
Hmm.
And I'll talk about my purpose and vision in life. I always say that everybody needs to prayerfully identify their purpose and vision in life. Mine is to support, because at a young age, I was taking care of my younger ones. We do things and we don't know what it's going to lead to in future. Mine is to support, to inspire, to motivate, and encourage everyone around me. Today, the messages I have received, I'm simply blessed. I am simply blessed. You don't know what you do until you know. Whatever I do it from a place of passion, from a place to change the narrative. And people don't need to see it that way, because I know there will always be noise, and it's okay. I'm at a level I tell them, see the gray hair? E- Everybody doesn't have to be my friend, right? I need to hone my space. I need to be comfortable where I am. And so, what is your purpose? What's your vision? Is your purpose to be gossiping and bringing other people down? Or you're actually making things happen? And finally, my priority. My priority actually keeps me grounded. And it is God first, family second, my career third, and my community. That is my priority. So these are three things that are very, very important to me. Now, how do I want to be remembered? Whether we like it or not, we all have a conscience. When we're doing good, we know we're doing good. When we're doing bad, we know we're doing good. I want to be remembered as a child of God. I want to be remembered as somebody that actually had impact on someone. I want to be remembered as someone that actually had value to someone. I don't want to be remembered as somebody that is good because I'm not good. It is only God that is good. But I want
Amen.
to remember that, yes, she did her bit. And I always tell everybody, whatever we do today, it is history tomorrow. So I'm happy that God has given me the grace to add value to people. I'm very authentic, just like my books say. I'm very straightforward. What you see is what you get. If you're looking for someone that will tell you exactly what you should do without buttering you up, I'm your girl.
Mm, mm.
That is what I want to be remembered for. She's strict, but she's fair.
Fair play. Wow, wow, wow! This is amazing, amazing, amazing. I want to say thank you so very much for this awesome time. 1 hour of your birthday with me. I really appreciate it. Happy birthday. I purposely did not want to wish you happy birthday until you get to this platform. I said, I know a lot of people are wishing happy birthday. I'm going to specially say my own on this platform. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you all the best, Lady ABHA. You are awesome. And I know you're going to stay awesome. You're going to get better and better and better. Thank you. So before you go, how can people reach you, please?
So I do have my website, and you can connect with me. You can connect with me at ladyabba.ca. That's my website.
Okay. LadyABBA.ca. Yeah.
Yes, Abba, just the way you've written it.
ABHA. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
together, one word,
Yeah.
ladyabba.ca. And
Yeah.
the email is equally straightforward. It's my first name and my last name together at gmail.com. So you can connect with me through that way. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so very much.
I just
Once
want to say
again,
one quick thing.
yeah.
Sorry, because this is very important. Council of Nigerian Professionals started as Council of Nigerian Professionals, but it's moving to Council of African Professionals because living in Canada, you realize that, you know, they see the exoticness of our skin before any race. And it's important for us not to divide ourselves. It's important for us to collaborate and leverage our African heritage to work together. Thank you.
Well, well, well. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And happy birthday and enjoy the rest of your day. And you'll be hearing from me again because I think there's a lot for us to talk about. Meanwhile, I just want to encourage my viewers, please, and subscribers, get a copy of this book. Very, very, very interesting. Easy to read, but loaded, loaded. Authenticity: How My Why Me Moments Shaped My Life by Lady Adejisola Atiba. Lady ABBA. God bless you and enjoy your day, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.